Japan builds closer defense ties with the US and Australia over China fears. Tokyo, Japan strengthened its defense ties with the United States and Australia this week as concerns grow over the perceived China threat, with agreements including a commitment with Washington to work on new defense technologies. This comes amid fears that a Taiwan contingency will cut too close to home for comfort. At a meeting on Friday between their foreign and defense chiefs, Japan and the US vowed to collaborate on new defense technologies such as ways to counter hypersonic missiles. They also agreed on a new 5-year ¥1.05 trillion host nation support deal that will enable increased bilateral training and cooperation. This came a day after Japan and Australia inked the reciprocal access agreement that will see more complex high-level joint drills and interoperability of their two militaries. Australia is the first country other than the US that has such a pact with Japan. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin on Friday told a daily briefing in Beijing, "We deplore and firmly oppose the gross interference in China's internal affairs by the US, Japan and Australia and the fabrication of false information to smear China and undermine the solidarity and mutual trust of countries in the region." Japan, Australia and the US observe the One China policy and do not recognize Taiwan as a country nor support its independence, but they prefer the status quo and are alarmed by the prospect of China taking Taiwan by force. Japan's Nansei Island chain that stretches about 1,200 kilometers southwest from Cape Sata, the southernmost tip of the mainland, to Yonaguni, which is just 110 kilometers from Taiwan, will be the main battle theater in such an event. The growing of defense partnerships, which Japan frames under its free and open Indo-Pacific vision, is also aimed at deterring China from assertiveness in the East China Sea and the South China Sea, where Beijing has sweeping claims of sovereignty. In a joint statement, Japan and the US raised concerns that ongoing efforts by China to undermine the rules-based order present political, economic, military and technological challenges to the region and the world. They resolved to work together to deter and, if necessary, respond to destabilizing activities in the region, the statement said, adding that both sides intend to share intelligence and analysis on coercive behavior. Dr. Satoru Nagao, a non-resident fellow of the Hudson Institute, observed steps to build a network-based security system in the region in a shift away from the hub-and-spoke system that is heavily US-centric. The existing hub-and-spoke system is not enough to deter China's aggression, he told the Straits Times. The US is thus encouraging its allies like Australia and Japan to cooperate with each other more and share in the security burden. Dr. Hung-Yi Kwang of the Graduate School of Public Policy at the University of Tokyo said the RAA Pact could provide momentum for similar deals with other close partners like Britain and France. The US and Japan on Friday welcomed greater engagement in the Indo-Pacific by European partners and allies, including Britain, France, Germany and the Netherlands, as well as through the European Union and North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and expressed support for their expanded multilateral exercises and deployment. Still, Dr. Tosh Minohara, who chairs the Research Institute for Indo-Pacific Affairs, told ST that US ally South Korea was the missing link in these defense partnerships. Historical issues related to Japan's wartime occupation have proven to be the key stumbling block for South Korea and Japan to build closer security ties. Australia is a good friend to have, but I think it is too far away and too small to turn the tables in any way, Dr. Minohara said, adding that South Korea was a formidable military power in the backyard. Australia has a military strength of under 60,000 people, compared with Japan's self-defense forces, with 220,000 people. South Korea, with its compulsory military service, has 555,000 active servicemen and 2.75 million reserve personnel. But Dr. Minohara added that Japan also stands to gain from the bond between the US and Australia. Japan and the US are the best of friends, but Australia and the US are brothers in arms, he said, adding that Japan has much to learn from Australia's combat experience.